Good afternoon, my gabbers. This is your girl, Deb Chanel, 48's World, coming to you live and in color. Okay, today's review is going to be on Joseline and Stevie Go to Hollywood, Season 1, Episode 4. And the title of this particular episode is titled Joseline Goes PG. PG meaning kids version. Everything's in it is non-offensive. It's family type of entertaining that they like to do for the Puerto Rican Americans during this particular season of the year. So Joseline met with a Mrs. Medina, who's the director over the festivities that come in town and the performing artists that she likes to get to entertain around this particular season. So she chose Joseline. They met, and she was just giving her a little piece of information regarding how the festival is set up, and they felt that she would be a good fit this year and very entertaining. But the only thing about it, they wanted her to tame down her particular show that she normally gives to adult type of crowds, where she can entertain the adult population with a lot of sexuality, a lot of sass. You know, her performance is really geared up to grown individuals, consenting adults. And it's, very raunchy, racy, very sexual. So I'm kind of confused myself that they would want Joseline to perform at a wholesome type of event that they're getting for family members to come out and view her show. When, if anybody's seen her on TV or had a chance to see her perform live, they would know it's not fitting for children and some adults, depending on how religious they are or if they're not that kinky. It's really a rated R, almost near porn type of entertainment she gives to the public. So I really don't understand what this Puerto Rican director was thinking when she wanted to book and actually did book Joseline for the performance. Enough said. She goes into detail of what she's expecting from Joseline's performance, and Joseline is like, okay. She really gets the point that everything has to be turned down, watered down, and censored. But she's thinking about her coins, putting some more, money in her bank account. So she feels that she would be able to give a family type showing and still be true to herself as a performer and artist. Okay, so that's pretty much was geared to that first scene or clip they showed us, and she would be performing in front of about 1,500 people. That would be, I guess, the maximum she was looking forward to have a turnout with regard to her show that particular day. The scene goes into clip 2, where we're watching Savannah, Stevie J's older daughter, playing with her um, younger brother, Stevie Jr. And, they're on the court playing and trying to show their skills of what they got in basketball. And they're, throwing the ball around, and Stevie comes in, looking like the happy parent. And, just spending time with his, not siblings, but his offspring, basically, and getting their take on everything about being there, visiting him, and pretty much, what they think about his situation that he's in now. And also touching a little bit about his relationship with Joseline and how he wants to form a better understanding and relationship with regard to all of them meshing well as a family. He's haven't given up on that idea, and I commend and applaud him for that. So he's trying to be a family man, but he's getting hit at both sides. Joseline not so more of not wanting to be a part of him and his kids' lives, but just the entertainment business and how she wants to see herself solidified within the industry and, making her own coins, her own money. But you have to commend her for that. She's pretty much is a self-made woman because, she's not waiting on Stevie to continue to mature her into the industry, and she's looking for him to upscale her or hit her, make her go to that next level. Even though he's saying he's working on new music, new material for her, but she's like kind of, weighing out her options and, seeing what she can do on her own. To build more self-esteem and just to function more as a businesswoman in the industry of entertainment. So give her kudos for that. But anyway, the scene is really setting in where they're kind of dogging Joseline out again. Can you turn on that fan, Johnson? I think it's the lights. But like I said, I think he's kind of giving his oldest daughter a little bit too much entertainment or taping time where she's trying to act like an adult but still is viewed as a young adult. She haven't really experienced much. I mean, she's going off to college and, you know, trying to make her way through life, navigating it. And to me, she seems to be a little materialistic and too outspoken when it comes to something of a nature that she has nothing to do with. This, I mean, it's not like they're young kids in school, middle school, or even the first part of high school. They're fairly dang near, almost pre-grown, or, they're all over except for one of them. I think the youngest girl, she's maybe close to 16 or 17 years old. But Stevie Jr. and Savannah, they're at, I believe, adult consenting age. I think, or maybe Stevie Jr. has the 17, 18, or 16, 17, 18. Maybe he's still in there with his baby sister. But he's acting more mature and accepting of his father and Joseline's relationship more so than the girls. And I don't know if it's just a daddy type situation where they didn't have him, growing up around him and getting to know him, and they getting to know, well, the girls getting to know their father and the father getting to know their girls, to have that special bond. But it seems like they're acting more like his friend, trying to tell him who to date, who not to date, who's best for him, who's not best for him, when it arbitrarily has nothing to do with them. I mean, they wouldn't want their dad coming in publicly telling, them at that particular age that they are now that, hey, I don't want you seeing this person. I don't want you, being around this person. I don't want you to marry this person. They will feel some type of way. So I have to give kudos to Stevie Jr. for really ascertaining the situation and putting it in the limelight as, hey, this is my dad's business. I want him to be with someone that loves and cares for him and tries to nurture him and into being a better person. However, he's still grown. He still has to make his own decisions. And, I'm not going to want him in my life telling me who to love, who to be around, and this, that, and the other. So, but it seems like the girls just can't seem to be detached, because I really feel that Joseline does bring a happy, sultry type of sass relationship that they may want to act like someday, but of course, in the privacy of their own home, not publicly. But it just seems like they're a little jealous of him giving her the majority of the attention, which again I still don't understand, because this is the time for them to be healing, to be bonding, and she's nowhere around. She's giving them that needed time to mature and grow with their father as he is now, not what he had been in the past. So I commend Joseline for definitely stepping out trying to do her own thing and fix her own insecurities, and establishing her own self-worth, which she the girls could, look at her as a role model, because she's, not necessarily the type of career she chose, but just how she's trying to solidify herself in the industry and able to maintain her brand, as well as making money. So, you know, they should be taking notes and pointers versus, throwing sticks, stones, arrows, and whatever. Because again, their dad is not as perfect as they're trying to make Jocelyn seem like she should be. They're both ratchet, they're both loud, they both look wonderfully together. They mesh real well. Um, and Jocelyn is just not the type to sit at home, knit sweaters, and be in a submissive type relationship. That's not her. It's never been her. I don't think it ever will be her. So it seems like the kids, all of them, need to just fall back and just know that their dad is in love with this type of woman, and her heart is in the right place, But in a sense, he kind of developed her in this particular person and pattern that of a career goal of her choosing, and she let him, do that to her. And it says she was a willing participant to make this particular character or individual we're seeing on camera, through this sitcom, or just as a regular person walking down the street. That's her every day, all day. So I just really feel the kids need to fall back and just, take in what they see, be on television, get their 5, 10 minutes of fame, study hard, and, if they want to be in the business, I'm sure their daddy would show them the ropes and stuff. And if not, then, just pay attention to your own life, making sure your dad deposit those checks in the bank to take care of you all, and your education. That's what you should be worrying about. And, because you already have, I'm pretty sure, a wonderful foundation with your mothers. And I think all of them might have different mothering, mother backgrounds. So I don't know. I really don't know. So hopefully Savannah will sit her butt down and just focus on school, and not so much on apparel, clothing, such as she said she wanted some red bottoms and stuff. And, her dad was teasing with her, saying, hey, if you make these 2 free throw shots, back to back, hey, I'll do it for you. But I really think he's still going to get her those red bottoms, because he's materialistic. He wants his children to have the best of everything that he couldn't give them when they were growing up, when it really counted. And, sad that he's not really looking like, no, I'm gonna make sure I make them checks to your education, depositing them in those accounts. Forget these red bottoms, whatever. You can still go to Payless, Buster Brown. I don't know what shoe stores are out there now. But anything other than name brand, I mean, where you gonna wear these red bottoms to? What type of executive function that you have planned that you need to be attending? Okay, it's not going to like no club scene or no frat house trying to, look upscale when you're there to study, you're there to learn. So bad move. Hopefully he'll resolve the issue, get the bonding going on. We know he's a good guy, and, do what you need to do to support your kids and get them off TV. It's really about you and Jocelyn, y'all making things happen. um then the scene goes on to Jocelyn visits Stevie J's new studio setup, where he supposedly is making music for her next come out session, for her to have new material when she's out performing. So she's like, okay, cool, whatever. And she's telling him about the festival that's coming up for the time she's gonna be performing her, her town, her region of the world, and they're paying homage to Puerto Rican females in the entertainment industry, as well as, having them come out and present their show to, the live public. The only thing and the only catch about it, it has to be real squeaky clean. Can't have all this, throwing other behind, or all this eroticness going on stage. That's just not where it's going to be. So, Stevie's like, well, did she not know? That's the type of format that you get down in. That's your bread and butter. That's what makes you who you are. And, she didn't really go into explaining it because it's something she wanted to try. It's new. And she wants to see pretty much, can she do it? Can she pull it off? I don't know, but with them talking, he's backing her 100%, like he always does, and he just figured that maybe he can throw a few choreographers or directors to try to, teach her a routine where it's seemingly squeaky clean, it's family friendly, oriented in nature, and she meets with this industry choreographer as well as director, Lorianne Gibson, and she has a long repertoire of, huh? Yeah. She's have a long, interesting repertoire in the music industry. She danced for a lot of celebrity type artists. One main one, Michael Jackson. She was actually in that world tour he was going to be doing for his final performance. This is it. She was one of the dancers that were going to be performing in that particular um, show that he was putting out when he was still living. But as we know, he died. He didn't fulfill that promise or that dream to perform again on that magnitude of a stage. Um, but she ended up still performing. The brothers took over like a tribute to him, and they did some of the stuff that he was going to be presenting when he went out on tour again for the last time. So I did get a chance to see her. Everybody did if they tuned in because they broadcasted it on, I think it was Fox 5 here in Atlanta, but it was on a TV station where you could watch the entire performance. So what they basically was going to give you clips of, because they end up putting the stage performance in a movie type of segment. So you kind of got the feel of what was going to happen if you had the opportunity to actually see him live performing the show. But like I said, through copyright issues and all the other rigmarole that went around or was surrounded about his death, and who's going to get the royalties and proceeds to different functions, and they had to get tickets back, and kind of almost bankrupt them. But they of course thought of a brand spanking idea what they would just sell the video after letting it play so many months or weeks at the box office, the theaters. So once that was made, they made more money selling the video through entities such as Walmart, Best Buy, video places such as those. And he ended up making a killing. How they say you're dead, you're worth more billions or millions when you're dead than you're alive. So that happened in his particular case. But anyway, Stevie wanted her to work with her to see what they could come up with as far as arranging a clean show for her to work with. Well, let's just say in scene 3, she met with her, and Joseline was shading the crap out of that woman. She was calling her ancient, and not her exact words, but basically she was calling her old fogey. And Steve trying to let her have a comeback session with choreographer for her and her show. And she was like, we ain't finna have this. I listened to her, but you know, I don't know. And Jocelyn eyes kind of a little reptilian today. I don't know what it was. Might have been the camera or the lights, like my daughter said. But I don't know her. I don't know. It's just something with when she was in her confessionals, and just her pupils. They didn't look quite right. So y'all let me know about if y'all was on the same boat with that. But like I said, she shaded the shit out of her basically, and was like, you know, you might have been good in your heyday, and I think she even went and said 20 years ago, or you know, basically her not even being in the world when this young lady, Laura Gibson, has been performing and developing her career through dance. And yeah, she was just basic, you know. And then I don't really think Lori should have said, "Well, you're this type of artist. You cater to this type of population of individuals or people, and I really don't think you should put yourself in a situation where you know you may not be able to pull it off. And you know, of course, you don't want the embarrassment and them stopping your show abruptly because you're basically, offending family members and, them bringing out their kids. But like I said, I already had an issue of them even trying to book her when they knew what type of artist she was and what type of population of people she catered to. So, I mean, it is what it is. And Jocelyn pretty much, you know, told her basically in a nutshell how she felt about her and that she is the queen of her own show and she makes the rules of what goes in her show and what doesn't. And she didn't care too much about, Lori's accolades and past, performances because that was then, this is now. And Jocelyn don't even look or don't let her she doesn't give her the respect that I guess Lori was expecting from her by her being in the business a lot longer. And her solidification that she had in the music industry and the dance world. So Janice was, I'm not Janice. Johnson was like, put a sock in it. I don't want to hear it. We're gonna move on. But thanks for meeting with me. But you can't do jack for me. Woo! So anyway, moving on to scene 4. It's another scene with Stevie's at his house with his children. And of course, they going back and forth telling him about how they feel about Joyce and they think she's a nice person, da 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 da, but not nice enough for you. And I'm sitting here thinking that, wow, here we go again. The kids are summing up Jocelyn's life and, her bad shortcomings, but they see nothing of what their father um, had did in his lifetime with raising them and him not being there. And he, being in Hollywood or Los Angeles, Georgia, just everywhere but where he needed to be, which was raising them and taking care of them. But, he was, being selfish and um, searching and looking for his next come up, his next big shot to be, in the rich and famous society. Um, I won't say department, but just that whole arena of being solidified in the industry. And he wanting the fame and the guts and the glory of all of that. That details when you make it. So, but they don't see all that. Their hot spot is Jocelyn, Jocelyn this, Jocelyn that, Jocelyn did that. I'm like, Stevie, we don't need to be giving them no more TV time because they're trying to act like they little actresses and actors when they need to be paying more attention to their schooling and solidifying themselves in something um, much more professional careers that's going to help individuals and of that nature. So you did your thing, excuse me, by having them on the show, and giving their opinions, giving them their little few minutes of fame, glory, and recognition. But I mean, it's getting old, and I don't like to see, kids in grown folks' business. In other words, and I mean, if you're asked by an adult how you feel about a certain situation or a certain individual, then chime in, give your feedback. But just to arbitrarily be on here and different clips, I don't know, just to make ratings go up or not. That's the, you know, field they're going for. Oh, okay, you want, the show or the industry to run your children now. And so they can be bit by the bug of entertainment. And you know for a fact, Steve, you've been out casted and you've been accused of this and that, and you've had your stinking rehabs, um, entities, and it's just not a place. They need to be back in their home environment. Or even if you're going to keep them out there, they need to be focused off of the TV screen, gracing the monitors at every chance they can get, and letting us see something more from them academically, in their own settings, the setting that they should be in. But again, finally, Dorian comes, which is Stevie J's oldest son, and his son, which makes Stevie J grandfather. So he gets to see Zion for the first time, and it's a happy feel good moment. Everybody's embracing one another. But I wish some parts of that Joseline would have had that opportunity to mix in as a family member as well, so they can get used to her, because she's definitely not going anywhere. She pretty much makes the show along with him. They kind of complement each other back and forth, and I think that's the formula or the secret that keeps them, in the public eye, because everybody loves her for what she brings to the show, and everybody loves him. Now, could they both be in separate shows and do well? I don't think so. Whoever found the niche to put them together, they complement each other, they chime off of each other, and I love the show. I know it's ratchet, but Jocelyn totally entertains me. I get it. I get her, and Stevie does too. Are they good people from what we're seeing on the show, and just maybe public contact? You may see them out and about in Atlanta. Um, I guess to be expected, they are, because that's who they are, and we gotta love everybody. May not like what they do in their professional life or in their personal life, but who are we to judge? But they give me everything that I look for when it comes to entertainment and laughter. So I have no problems with them or the show. Um, then the scene takes apart from there to Jocelyn is meeting with her particular choreographer that helps her here in Atlanta. She flies them out to LA because she wants to get a segment down where everything is pretty much clean, family friendly. Anybody can watch it and not be offended, and not be looking for something too sexual. Even though I'm pretty sure her costumes were going to be on fleek. They're going to be, you know, which what they are is entertainment. A lot of sparkly stuff, and a lot of colors that's going to show off her stage presence and look good on her. So, she's not going to be dressing up like um, Miss Butterworth, or just somebody who's straight laced and don't have an ounce of partiness in them and all that. She's gonna be her. She's gonna stay true to form, but she's gonna try to tone it down to give another side for people to view her in. So it was quite refreshing. But anyway, she's like on point with her dancers that the choreographer had gathered up for her, and they on point. And they ready to get down, shake that booty, and everything else, stretch it out and show it out and all that. But that wasn't the type of scene Jocelyn was going for. So she had to inform, Ricardo, Ricardo, and her new dancers that, hey, we're used to doing this, that, and another. I love it. I love what y'all brought, as far as giving me a sample of what could be for the performance. But she shut it all down. She was very businesslike, very professional, and she kind of told them, hey, this is what we're gonna do for this particular event, this particular performance, and it's gonna work. It's going to work. So they didn't give us too much to look at and to be able to review on. It was just like almost a closed session where they were giving us a little, but not a lot to focus in on. But I'm pretty sure it's gonna be something very interesting when we do get a chance to see it. So then, commercials went through and everything, and they brought back the last scene, which was Jocelyn at her particular event. They showed her getting makeup done, and the director of the festival came around to congratulate her and to, remind her of what they had talked about as far as her performance. And she really feels Jocelyn has, you know, set the tone of what she needs to be doing in that particular performance, and that it needs to be family oriented and friendly. So, Justin was like, yeah, we're going to make it happen. I feel good about it. My dancers, they feel good about it. We're going to, give you all a good show. And it flashes back where Stevie J and Lori Gibson is there at the event. And, they're talking over some things that, Jocelyn had shared with both of them about her being independent, her becoming her own woman, and, handling all her business aspects personally. So, they've given her kudos for that. And, they don't know how she really gonna pull off this straight lace, squeaky clean performance, because they've never. That's not her. That's not what she's been selling people for the last 5 or 6 years. She's been out in the public forum and doing shows at different venues around the states and city of Atlanta. So, they're just awaiting, just like the rest of the crowd, and she's getting ready to go out on stage and perform, and then it abruptly stops. And, I know they only have 30 minutes, for each episode that they give us, but I'm like, that was a crappy way to end the show by not showing us a little something, and showing that she did actually achieve her goal, which was to be very clean from beginning to end. But we have to wait till next episode. So that's where we are. It looked good. Her performance looked very professional. The costumes looked great. So hopefully it turns out to be a win-win for everybody, and to actually teach her that she can do, you know, other things than having a sultry type sexy showing every time she's out and about performing at events. So kudos to them in the show. I hope they get a second season um, to promote more um, fun stuff, between the two of them. They're a good match. If they don't survive within their marriage, maybe they could still be like Ike and Tina Turner, still perform. But I don't know. I can't really, like I said, I can't really see them being separate artists, because they work chemistry wise real well together. So I look forward to seeing much more from them, and keep me laughing as out my stitches, or how they say in the old world. But anyway, it was a good showing, good review. Hope you all enjoyed it, and I will say good night to you all, and I'll see you next review. Thank you. Bye bye.